Hi, you guys. Hopefully, you can hear me. Good evening. So, I just wanted to come on and touch on some stories in a live. Um, so, you guys know, I think in my last video on this channel, I was bringing up the whole Jamie Foxx situation. Um, I was like, where is like his family, somebody that we can trust? Coming, not to say that we can't trust the some of the other celebrities who were, but even they were confusing, right? It's like at the same time, I feel like they didn't want to tell his business. Maybe that's why they were coming off so mysterious. I don't know. But you can't always trust what people are putting in social media. And people had all kind of stuff going, and they still do, even though now the daughter has kind of put it all to rest by saying, my father is at home and he's, recuperating or getting better or whatever, however she worded it. Um, and then it just makes more sense. And I mean, I understand people want their privacy because some people are saying, well, is it a thing of privacy? Well, that's fine. I think the daughter could have came out and said just what she just said, and we understand that it's just a matter of privacy and wanting to get back to the Jamie Foxx that people know. Obviously, if he had a stroke, there could be a lot of things going on. And so, yeah, he has a right to his privacy, and no one's saying that. But when you leave stuff out here, this world of social media, child, these people on YouTube will have you talk about the mothership that came down and picked you up, and now you're a missing person. You just never know what's, and people here on YouTube tend to tell stories, and they make this stuff sound really real, right? And then they swear they got receipts and sources, and so you just don't know. You don't know what to believe, and it was quite a few stories going, and they were going at the same time, and people that you thought were um, that trustworthy, you just didn't know because other people were saying other things. And that's what I was saying. I think that every family probably should have someone that is like a spokesperson and come out and just say whatever. That way it kind of kills off all the rest of that stuff, that people can't just come out and make up stuff. But at the same time, maybe he was playing on it a little bit too. Maybe, wanting people to keep talking about it because, like she said, there's a project or something that's getting ready to come up. So you never know. But I'm just glad the man okay. And having strokes is a serious thing. I think that's what they said. He had a stroke. But I don't know, child. I guess we'll never know until he come out and tell us what happened, right? So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up really fast because I know I was talking about that. So the other stuff, I don't even know where to go with the rest of this stuff. I'm sorry, I don't know where to go first. I don't know what's going on with the baby face and and look, I don't have to back up off my girl, okay? I'm sorry. Like, why everybody be trying to come for the people I like? Like, I don't believe this story. And some people on Twitter kind of have me believing that I'm right. I don't think Anita Baker would invite Babyface to go on tour with her if she has a type of issue with him. I mean, and there's no common sense in that to me. But I could see how if they had issues before, how people could take things and then make it into what they want to make it into. And I kind of get the feeling that that's the situation. To my understanding, she haven't said anything. He issued that apology, which sparked this whole conversation. So I'm like, okay, so the legends, y'all want to get on the blogs too now? Is that what it is? Y'all want to get out here on these blogs and have these people making up stuff? I don't know. But yeah, he issued this apology about not performing, saying that he was told by Anita's people that to, sit this one out because she's only going to have enough time to have her set. I mean, hey, there could be some honesty in that, right? And so for me to jump off into some conclusion that she was trying to do something, backbiting type thing to him, I don't believe that at all. I think that if her people said that, then they were coming from an honest place, because based on what people were saying on Twitter, who was at this concert in Jersey, that they didn't even get in on time. Like the ticket said they can go in at a certain time, obviously proceeding. And some of the people on Twitter were saying that that did not happen on time. So it was not on her. It wasn't just her. And if he was opening before her, his set was set up, but he wasn't there when they did get in. And this is what they're saying on Twitter. This is not coming from Anita Baker. This is the fans who were there at the show. And so that's what I'm saying. I said, you know, people could twist things up however they want to smack it up and flip it, right? And make it sound the way they need it to sound for them. You know, some people were saying that they're upset because they wanted to see Babyface and Anita. And so they felt like they should get half their money back or whatever the situation. But a lot of people were saying that. I'm not just saying this. There, you guys can go on Twitter and pull the story up. They're saying that you know, that's not just on her. That wasn't just on her because they didn't even open the doors on time, and people were in there doing sound checks still, and the audience was in the, you know, they were in the building. And his one of the ladies said his set was set, but he never came out. And then they took his set and put up Anita's set, right? Now, maybe she felt like, well, you know, we can't keep people here all night and I want my fans to see me. So let's just cut Babyface tonight. To my understanding, when I was looking at the list of shows that they're going to do, I understand people in Jersey might feel slighted, but they're going to be in other shows together, or at least they were scheduled for other shows. She may feel a way about this story and the way it's getting put out here, because when I went to his Instagram chat, all kind of celebrities, you know, all kind of people, industry folk was all in the comments, and so that can make her feel a way, right? It's like you're stirring something that's not necessarily what you're trying to make it sound like. And she might feel like that. I don't know. So, but to my understanding from the schedule, they were scheduled for several shows together. Um, and then I saw this article as well on Twitter. Someone was bringing up the fact that the backstory on Anita, because I didn't know this. I don't know if you guys know. Let me know in the comments. They were saying that Babyface and Anita got into it, I guess, around mid 2000s. He wrote a song for her, and he said that she never paid him, or the residuals or something. They whatever it was, he didn't get his money. And so he sued her for that money, and I guess he won or whatever the situation was, or they settled, what however it went down. And I guess they had a show back then together as well, and she did some special work, and he did not perform on that show as well. So they're trying to say that she was pulling that again. But my thing is, like the lady was saying in the comments, if he would have been there, if he would have been there on time, then why wouldn't he just go to the stage if he was there? Right? So I think that it was a thing where he could just point the finger to Anita, but at the same time, maybe some of it was him as well. Maybe he wasn't there on time, or somebody else that he was waiting on, or whatever the situation. And so they could not start on time. And so Anita was like, well, look, I want my people to still see me at the time they thought they were going to see me, and get the full, you know, Anita, right? And so maybe that's what happened. And I kind of believe the person in the comments because, you know, they were there and they could tell, you could tell when stuff is not the way it's supposed to be. Because if you're supposed to be opening, then you should have been able to open. Even if they did open it, because they said, I think they're saying they opened the doors like an hour and a half late. Like they were supposed to open the doors at a certain time, and they didn't even open the doors for an hour and a half, which already probably went into his set, right? And then, you know, his set would have had to run into Anita's time. And I think that's what it was. And maybe he was late, and Anita was like, nah, you're not gonna take my time because you were late. And so he just put the whole thing on her by making it sound like she, you know, she just didn't let him perform. But that's just my opinion based on what people were saying in the comments. And like one of the gentlemen was asking, like, why would you even go on tour with her again? right? If y'all have some type of issues and you think she pulling stuff, then why even go out on the road with her again? And I mean, that's an honest question, and somebody need to ask Babyface that. Because why would you even go if you thought that she was that type of person? You know, and I didn't like the fact that some celebrities and people were chiming in like, oh, she did this to this person, she did that. You know, if you were not there, you don't know what happened. And just working on sets, stuff don't always, I know stuff don't always go the way people have that stuff written down, the way, you know, the set schedule and all that stuff. That stuff don't go like that for the most part all the time. It don't go like that. Like stuff is gonna start when it starts. And it's not just black folk, because y'all know we not gonna do nothing on time. But you know, yeah, I it's rare that things are it's rare that they're gonna go the way it's planned to me. And so I don't know that I truly feel that she was trying to do something to him, but that's my opinion. You guys can let me know what y'all think about the whole Babyface and Anita thing. Um, and some people have some of the video up from the show or whatever, you know, just her performing. I don't know, but do you guys think that the guy, and I didn't even put it, you know, I didn't get his name, but he was just like, well, why go out with her again if you know, that she will pull some stunts? Because, and then some of the other celebrities were saying that she's done that to other people, that she gets in diva mode. And she's not the only one, so we're not gonna play that game either. She is not the only one that can pull diva. So anyway, I won't even get started. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like stuff like that. It's like, mm, because then when people start asking him about it, he's gonna get irritated because people are gonna keep asking him about it, right? And so don't even put the story out there unless you really want to address it. And that's just how I feel about it. And that's not just him. That's all of those celebrities that was over there in the comments. Them too. That's my opinion. You guys can let me know what you think, because if look, if the old folk want to come out here and jump on these blogs, y'all can get on them now. These people, when they start making up stories, they start making them up. I mean, if you really want, if that's what you really want, you know, because they will put 10 on the 20 real quick over here on YouTube and have you saying all kind of stuff that you didn't even say. So sometimes it's just best to stay out of stuff. But I digress. Let me know what y'all think about that Anita Baker and Babyface. And if you were in Jersey, you were there, let us know in the comments. Cause I want to know. Cause like I said, some people were saying, "Nah, don't put that on her," because the doors didn't even open. People were still doing sound checks. He never went on set. His set was set up, but he never came out. So it sounds like he might just be trying to pass the buck to her, and make it look like she pulled diva rank or something. And I don't know that I believe that. I don't. I personally have never heard these things about Anita Baker before, so it's kind of shocking that people are trying to represent her like that. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. And then the other stories, as we talk at R&B, is Brian McKnight and his kids. Like, and I hope he don't think, and this is my opinion, you guys, you know, and this is the thing, this is what I'm saying. People shouldn't put their business out here if they don't want people commenting on it like that, right? Um, I think that there was an interview that was floating not too many days ago, and I don't recall the young lady's name, but she asked him about what inspires him to write songs, and he starts saying all this little twisted stuff about, oh, my wife, you know, I never wrote a love song until I met my wife, and you know that I meant, you know, just really rude stuff, because he was, you guys, well, for people that don't know, he was married to the black woman for a very long time, you know. So for him to come out in the media and say all this disrespectful stuff, it's like weird. It's getting weird at this point, and it's not a good look for him, because you don't have no fan base in these other communities like that, the way you try to pretend like you do. And here's the thing, even if you do, people don't show the same respect and honor, you know, that the black community show to you black celebrities. Okay, so keep it up, But and then all this stuff about his legacy and he ain't leaving no money to his black kids. It's just it's bizarre. It's bizarre. He needs to, pull up off of the nonsense, because if you don't want people adding putting 10 on 20, then you shouldn't even put this stuff out here. That's kind of how I feel about it. Keep your family business in your home and between you and your family. And then you don't have to worry about people talking about it, because he's like, oh, people said I abandoned my kids. I didn't abandon my kids. Then he turned around and said, but I took them out the way. It was just it was bizarre. It was bizarre. And then the whole thing about he never wrote a love song until he met this current wife, and just there's no reason for you to take the low road. And some people out here don't even know what he's talking about, right? Because everybody's not following Brian Mcknight like that. I was never, it's just some people I'm just not into like that. And he was just one of those people. I'm just being honest. He has a couple songs, obviously, that I grew up listening to that I really like. But that's, yeah, he needs to bring it down a notch. I think that is rude and disrespectful, and it's just uncalled for. And that black wife was there at the height of your career, making you look better than clearly you were. um that's it, and that's all. I mean, like I said, I think people should keep their family business among their family, at the end of the day, because I don't really hear his kids saying anything about him. And whatever they have said in the past, it just is what it is. That's the way they were feeling at that time. You're the parent, you know, the higher expectation is on you as a parent, right? Because you are the example for those people, even the young people, even if they are adults, you're still the example because those are your children. And that's just how I feel about that. And it's just, and he needs to stop saying all that stuff because it's really weird to me. I'm sorry. And then when black people smash back, then you want to get an attitude, and then you want to say, "Oh, we doing this and we saying that." No, nobody cares. Nobody gives two hoots what's going on in your life today or what was going on yesterday. You're kind of putting all this stuff out here. And to my understanding, the kids are not saying anything. He's the one that's keeping this going, and maybe he's just trying to get attention from it, but I don't think it's the attention that he really wants. Anyway, let me know what y'all think about that Brian McKnight stuff. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, he needs to bring that down. No one, should be hearing all that stuff. And however, whatever you're trying to say about your kids, let's please remember you are the one that raised them. Okay? So however you feel about them, whatever you're trying to say about them, you instilled that in them because you are the one who raised them. Okay, so let people be out here saying a whole lot of stuff, but people are looking at you going, "Well, you raised them. Whatever's wrong with them, you made it that way. If they spoiled, you made them that way, right?" So whatever you're trying to say with that, um, I don't know. What do y'all think about that whole conversation? Let me know in the comments if you guys saw that interview as well, when he just out of the blue just started saying like stuff, and it was like even the girl that was interviewing him was like, "Wow." I was tickled. She was like, "Wow, wow." Like, so you're just gonna discredit all the songs that made you Brian McKnight, and I can't even name a song that he got out today. If you can, please let us know in the comments. But I cannot name nothing that he put out recently. So that's not saying a whole lot, honey, but I'm just trying to let you know. Anyway, so let me just move on. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about the Brian McKnight situation and the Babyface and Anita Baker and Jamie Foxx as well. So the last story, I think this is the one, the last one. Brat and Judy were on Tamron Hall, and they were discussing. The show started as well. Brat loved Judy. I have to watch it. I haven't watched the first episode yet, but they were on Tamron Hall discussing their pregnancy and the show. And Brad apologized for the Jimmy, what is it, Jimmy the Cricket? joke or whatever she was saying about the black guy that was the one donor that they could have went with, um, based on his looks. They did not pick him. That's how it came off. And I was kind of surprised at all of the men here on YouTube who actually commented on her making that statement. You know, there if you guys put Brat, Jimmy the Cricket into the the search here on YouTube, you'll see the videos that were made around her doing that. And so clearly people were offended by her saying that. And like, and then we had that whole discussion about self-loathing, because I personally feel like when people say stuff about black folks, that's how they feel about themselves. That's my personal opinion. I feel like you got a problem with the hair, it's because you got a problem with your own. You got a problem with the skin colors because you got a problem with your own. You got a problem with all this stuff, it's because you have a problem with who you are. And that's it, that's all. And I'm not necessarily talking about her, I'm just speaking. That's just how I feel when you hear people doing stuff like that. And, she said that it was just a joke and she didn't mean it to offend anyone or to say it in a certain way, because that then of course led people to feel like, well, she just don't want a black child anyway. They just didn't want a black child. I don't know why I wasn't putting the whole story together, because I think in my last video I was saying I didn't know who eggs they were using, but clearly they were using Judy, so she was the one talking about the match with her genetic match. And so the genetic match thing is what was the final deciding factor into if they were going to pick whoever they decided to go with. And so that's what they're saying is how and why they went with the donor that they went with. Um, so I don't know, but I was glad that Tamron Hall kind of raised the conversation that maybe we as a community need to discuss that more, because we are living in a new day where you're seeing women either have children by themselves, on their own as a single mother, or they are they're marrying another woman and they want to have a child, or you will see two fathers that want to have a child. And so you're going to need donors, right? Whether you need the mother as a donor or whether you need the father. And it's a real conversation that honestly we don't have. We really don't. And I think a lot of us think that you expect, like I was saying before, I feel like these are two people who have the means to go and get the person that they want, to find the person that they want. That's what I would think. And then you would just think that some of these people would just ask people that they know and see if they can help them find the person that they would want to go with, right? I don't know. That's just the way I think. So I agree with Tamron. It's a conversation. Well, the doctor was saying it. She had a doctor on her show, the episode as well. Um, it's a conversation that we really don't have, and we probably need to start having more, especially with, like I said, we have a rise in single mothers who are choosing to have children later on in life, who may need donors. You have women getting married to women, men marrying men, things that we didn't necessarily grow up seeing, at least my generation, we didn't necessarily grow up seeing these things um, happening, or that knowing families that were formed this way. And so I don't think we really think to have the conversation. And so maybe we do need to start making sure that we're keeping that conversation out there, um, and giving resources, using resources to inform these men on how they can donate, right? And the women as well, if that's what they choose to do, how they can become carriers, like carry the baby for a couple. Um, so yeah, I enjoyed the episode. And Brad said that she's crying a lot, she's emotional because of the pregnancy. Now, it was really nice. I saw a clip of her performing at the Lovers and Friends concert, and she, you know, she was pregnant. I mean, she was performing pregnant for the first time, and I was just really thinking about over her career. Like, you never would have thought you would see this day, right? So it's nice. It's a nice moment for her. Um, but yeah, what do you guys think about that whole conversation? Just as far as her apologizing and saying she wasn't trying to offend anyone. And I think that people have to understand too, with all of the social media stuff, people are watching them a little bit more than they probably would have been before. And so you do have to be mindful of the things that you're saying, because there's a lot, and also there's just a lot of sensitive people today for whatever reason. I don't know, child, but people they're very sensitive around everything. So you have to, I guess, be mindful of that when you're saying things, especially when you have a platform, and a large platform, right? But let me know what you guys think about the whole conversation about, the sperm donors. The doctor was saying that yeah, there is, a very small amount. Usually there's really no black male donors when you get into these situations. Um, but yeah, hopefully we'll start talking about it more. Maybe black men will start talking about it more, because I'm sure they have friends or people in their family, might be in the same situation. So it's a conversation that's just kind of worth having. Let me know what y'all think. If you saw the episode, what did you think about it? Yeah, because Tamron Hall saying, they don't get any blacker than Brad. I was thinking that too, just thinking about that whole situation again. Like, this is going to be this little white person, because, the child is more than likely going to look, a certain way. Let's just go ahead on it and put ownership on that, because of Judy as the mother. And I almost feel like she is multiracial, or is one of her parents anyway. So, but anyway, when I was thinking, that child is gonna is gonna look a certain way, but they're gonna want their food seasoned, right? Like, I don't know. It was just funny in my head when I was thinking, and child ignore me, but yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, okay, the child's gonna look one way, but they is gonna have some very just black ways about them, which could, is interesting in when you think about it. Considering the way the child more than likely will look. But let me know what y'all think about the conversation about the donating, and how to increase the awareness, for black men to feel comfortable and safe about doing it. Um, Let me know what y'all think about this conversation in the comments. What do you think about the Babyface and Anita Baker situation? Do you think Anita Baker was pulling a diva move on Babyface? And like the man said, why would he even go out on tour with her again if he felt like she was like that? Because allegedly she did this to him before in the early 2000s. They were in concert together and he didn't go on because she requested that he didn't perform. So I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about all of this stuff in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.